Good morning. I just picked up the CLK LM. I haven't not driven this car at all yet. And I haven't been on this track in a little while. I just needed I needed to detune it down to 800 performance points. So I took away some of the power and then added weight to get it to right around 799. And that's about it. I'm still running on medium tires, so I think if I ran out of money. I bought rain tires for it and the power restrictors because they're cheap. But hard tires would probably be nice for this track because then I could get more power and less weight. I can tell you right out of the gate, this car is very, very responsive. It feels insanely low, and it feels almost like I'm over the nose of the car. I don't really know how to describe it, but I feel like I'm sitting way forward compared to most of the cars I've been driving. I've been driving front engine cars, they're front mids, but the engine's been in front of me. So there may be some accuracy there, but it definitely, I feel forward in the car. I like that Subaru, I felt like I could have driven underneath it. The in-car camera feels almost like like the bumper camera. I have not adjusted the fuel at all, so what I usually like to do on this track is get to around, I think I like to try to do a single pit strategy where I get through there once. Let's see if I can do that, or if we have to pit at 5. I've been doing the hour-long race at Spa for grinding more than this race lately. It's funny, there's a lot that shows the age of this car from the cockpit. I mean, you got the steering wheel lights look a little bit weird. The dash is an LCD screen. kind of different. It seems cheaper than a lot of the newer cars, but you know, there's a beauty to that. All this stuff is function over form. Car is quick though. I mean, I'm on the Facebook forum, and it's the Facebook page, and it's been getting glowing reviews, and it's doing awesome. I mean, we're on lap 4, and have plenty of fuel, and here we are, right up with the first place position before they've gotten to the pits. I don't know if he finishes in first normally or second, but like, we're toying with him now. He's not someone we need to worry about. And even driving this car, I'm, you know, looking around and looking at the toggle switches, and, you know, I'm not taking it seriously by any stretch. It's just, it's comfortable, it's predictable. It's $6.5 million, but, you know, I'm, like, this took all my money. I spent all my money on this, the wet tires, like both sets of wet tires, and the ballast and the power restrictor. I mean, you can pretty well afford those whenever. But I couldn't afford the hard set of tires or softs because I ran out of money. Like, I'm not doing the gaming where you're setting the game up to run in the background while you leave the house or whatever. Like, I'm earning all the money that I spend. But there's not a whole lot that I'm really looking at to buy so much. I mean, I want it all. Everyone does. But I usually focus my purchases around what I need for online racing. And this is definitely not in any of those categories. It's just a really nice car, and I wanted to own it, so I was able to buy it. And I mean, I can tell you right now, there's no regrets. I mean, I'll make the money back, no big deal. This is a good car. I didn't see if there were any performance mods you could buy for it, like the turbos or anything. It didn't look like it, but I flew through the menus because I didn't have any money. This is about to give us plenty to work with, just this one race. Even with mediums, I mean, we're getting close to the end of the life of these tires, but I'm pretty confident that I can get through lap 8 and not really have to worry about it. I'm doing all right on fuel. I have a feeling I can do a 2-pit strategy without any type of fuel adjustment. And this is a gas, fossil fuel engine. It's not a hybrid. I was running the I don't know what it's called. It's because it's got one of those ridiculous names. It's just letters and numbers. But the new hybrid prototype car from Toyota, I drove that last night on the hour of Spa, and I could not get a charge into the hybrid battery by the end of the race. So my lap times plummeted, and I don't know that I might just be braking wrong, or I started going into corners holding the brake and the gas where I didn't need the brake, just trying to figure out how to get energy back into the battery. But this is not a hybrid, so I don't have to worry about the car losing voltage or whatever. Like, it's just going to keep doing what it's doing. I'd like to get through 8 laps, because that way I'll definitely know that I don't need to adjust the pit strategy on this car. But we'll see. The tires are a little sloppy. I mean, they're getting definitely, they're kind of at the end of their life. Oh, but here we are in the back of the pack, so let's just run it and see what happens. If it runs out of gas, it runs out of gas. Oh, we got the warning indicator light on. Oh, yeah, we're gonna run out of gas. Let's not do that. But it's telling me half a lap. I'm not doing that. When we get out, I'm gonna move this up to 2 on the power to lean ratio. The second map, and that'll give us plenty of power to do whatever we need to do. Something else I noticed on these races, when you have a car that has the built-in jacks, because these cars, they got to a point where they didn't care about weight anymore. They have to add weight to fit the class, so that's where they put the jacks into the car. But there's no jack in the pit. If you take a road car into these races, you'll see that they actually have like a jack setup. Like, it's a rollover jack. I thought that's a real nice touch. I was running the Pagani Huayra, which is a real car. I mean, they're all real cars, mostly. But some of them aren't. But it's a street car. It's not a race car, so it doesn't have the pneumatic jacks built right into the car. Usually, by the time you get to these races, you're kind of done with the road cars anyway, like where you're actually running through the pits. So I hadn't noticed it. I've had the Huayra. That might have been the car I got for the last of the original menu books. I know I won it. I don't remember where I won it, but I know I won it. So I never drove it. I mean, I like it. I like Pagani as a company. I think they're very cool. They're very designer while being supercars. But when I took it out, that's when I noticed that they had jacks laying there for the pits, because the car isn't equipped with it. Now, they don't seem to do anything different with the 5-stud wheels versus the center lock wheels, but it's still early in the game. A lot of people are complaining about the little details, and give it a little time. Like, people are so impatient right now. It's insane. So with the second fuel map, it looks like we have plenty of fuel. This is a friggin' spectacular car. Oh. And somebody online let me know that this is not the car that went airborne in history. Like, I know there was, they had one that you can find pictures of it online. And even if you search for this car's name, it'll show up. But I didn't realize there were different cars. But one of them had issues where they would, I think it's once they scraped the ground, it lost downforce, which is how Art and Senna died. But not in one of these, it was in a Williams car. But when this car scraped the ground, it lost downforce and became an aircraft. And they went, I mean, it wasn't a jump, it went, you know, way up in the air. I don't think anyone got hurt. I think Porsche had the same issue. These cars are all very similar in styling, no matter who's building them. Because it's designed by nature. Man, this is nice. Brake zones don't bother me. Like, nothing seems to bother me. I'm not even hardly paying attention to the car. It stops. It accelerates. It corners. I don't feel it pushing. I don't feel it oversteering. I mean, as the tires wore out, I felt the back end getting just a little bit slippy. But, I mean, it was very, very predictable. I mean, I didn't even worry about it. It's definitely too much car for these cars. It's too much car, and I could do a single pit strategy without really having to pull back on power. I mean, there I went into that corner way too hot and still had plenty of time to recover. At this point, I'm just seeing money well spent. So last Saturday I did win my first motor swap. I haven't done anything with it yet because it looks like one of the only cars you can put it into is the MR2. And I bought an MR2 because I love the car. But I kind of want to hold off until it gets back into the used car shop and get a second one. Somewhat for comparison, but that MR2 motor, the one that came from Toyota that's in that car, is one of their finest engines ever produced. And I don't want to just yank it out of the car. So if I can get a second car and do it that way, that's kind of my, that's where I want to be. And once I do that, I'll mess with that live as well. I'll try to set them up pretty well the same, and then we'll have both cars with the engine, one with the engine swap, one without, and we'll see what it does. But adding a bigger engine isn't necessarily a good thing either. I mean, my knowledge of MR2s in real life is they kind of have a power limit to where the car is no longer streetable. I think some of that is the turbo surge. So if you had a flatter power band, it might be better all the way. So even with cutting the fuel a little bit, we're right back to the same area as the hot lap on this car with the full power. So we're not losing a whole lot yet. I mean, you've seen all the time I've had with this car. I have not driven it before right now. So there's still plenty of learning to be done, and I'm sure I can do much better on the laps. And the fact that I'm talking doesn't necessarily help. I'm feeling that we've lost the tires a little bit. But we're also lapping second place right now. I think the last lap's going to be ugly because this car is starting to push, it's starting to oversteer. It's the tires letting go. We're also a little light on gas with our current fuel map. But let's stick it out. Oh, I'm gonna push it up to 3 here. See if we can get a little further. We may run out of gas on this lap, but that's fine. We got a whole lap ahead of the other racers, so if we got to use the limp mode to cross the finish line, I'm okay with that. But medium tires seem to be a good choice too, because it's needing tires right when it needs gas. At least on this race. I mean, I know a lot of them. I don't even know what the settings are, so usually they'll have like a multiplier that is not identical between. Oh, sorry about that, buddy. The multiplier usually isn't identical between the tire usage and the fuel usage. But whatever this setting is, puts the medium tires and the fuel supply pretty well in line with each other. Oh yeah, we're good. 0. There we go, out of gas. Don't let go of the wheel. He got his lap back. He was down 2, and now he's down 1. Good job, buddy. But that's a nice car. I'm very happy with it. And if you watched, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good day.